The lead mask mystery. The unsolved case that still haunts Brazil on a sunny August afternoon in 1966. Two Brazilian electronic technicians set out on what would become the final journey of their lives. Their destination was Morro do Ventum, a densely vegetated hill overlooking the bustling coastal city of Niterói, just across the bay from Rio de Janeiro. The men, Manuel Pereira da Cruz and Miguel José Viana, were not there for sightseeing. They carried no provisions except for an empty water bottle, a couple of towels, and a small notebook filled with cryptic instructions. Clad in formal suits and waterproof coats, they ascended the hill in silence. Strangely, each man carried a peculiar item, a lead mask, opaque and crudely cut, resembling the kind used to protect against radiation. What happened next would confound authorities for decades, spawning a range of theories that span the mundane to the otherworldly. To this day, the case remains one of Brazil's most enduring unsolved mysteries, a story of bizarre deaths, coded messages, and an eerie absence of answers. The discovery 2 days later, on August 20, 1966, a young boy flying a kite along Morro do Ventum noticed a strange sight. Two figures lying side by side in the brush, their bodies motionless. Upon closer inspection, he realized they were dead. Authorities were summoned to the scene, and what they found left them baffled. Both men lay flat on their backs, partially covered in grass, their bodies in a state of decomposition, accelerated by the heat of the Brazilian summer. There were no visible signs of struggle, no evidence of trauma or violence. Beside them, investigators found a series of odd objects: an empty water bottle, two wet towels, and a small notebook containing a cryptic message scrawled in Portuguese. 1630, be at the agreed place. 1830, swallow capsules. After effect, protect metals, await signal mask. For seasoned investigators, this discovery was nothing short of perplexing. There were no obvious explanations for their deaths, no witnesses to recount what had transpired. The instructions in the notebook offered little clarity, instead raising further questions. What were the capsules? What signal were they waiting for? And why had they worn those strange lead masks? The final days of Cruz and Viana. In the days leading up to their mysterious deaths, Cruz and Viana appeared calm and collected, living their lives as usual in the quiet town of Campos dos Goitacazes. Known for their expertise in electronics, the two men were widely regarded as practical and level-headed, with a deep curiosity for technological innovation and the science of the day. However, beneath this surface of normalcy lay an unusual interest, an involvement in a local group fascinated by spiritualism and metaphysical phenomena. This interest, seemingly benign, would soon become a focal point in the speculation surrounding their deaths. On August 17, 1966, Cruz and Viana set out on what they told their families was a work-related trip to São Paulo. They withdrew a substantial amount of money, enough to purchase a used car, indicating that whatever they were planning, it was serious. Instead of heading to São Paulo, however, the two men took a bus to Niterói, a coastal city across the bay from Rio de Janeiro. They arrived around 2:30 p.m. and began what would be their final journey. Upon arriving in Niterói, they purchased waterproof coats and a bottle of water from a local bar. The waitress who served them later described Viana as appearing very nervous, frequently checking his watch as if anxiously counting down the minutes. This interaction would be the last time anyone saw the two men alive. From the bar, it's presumed that Cruz and Viana made their way directly to Morro do Ventum, a site where their bodies would be discovered 2 days later. They were reportedly seen hitching a ride up the hill with two unidentified men in a jeep, though this detail remains unconfirmed. Theories and speculation as the investigation deepened. The possibility that Cruz and Viana were engaged in a secret ritual or experiment became a prominent theory. The mid-1960s in Brazil was a period rife with interest in the occult, spiritualism, and UFO phenomena. Could it be that they were preparing for a close encounter of some kind? Or perhaps an esoteric ritual designed to elevate their consciousness or protect them from harm? One of the most enduring theories was that the men were attempting to make contact with extraterrestrial beings. The note found with the men, which referenced swallowing capsules and awaiting a signal, was seen by some as evidence that the pair were preparing for a close encounter. The lead masks, it was suggested, were designed to protect their eyes from harmful radiation emitted by a UFO. This theory gained traction after several residents of Niterói reported seeing a round orange UFO hovering over Morro do Vintum on the night the men were believed to have died. Though no concrete evidence ever emerged to substantiate these claims, the idea of a UFO connection captivated the public and fueled endless speculation. Another popular explanation centered on the idea that Cruz and Viana were involved in a secret scientific experiment. The crude lead masks and the cryptic instructions hinted at the possibility of a radiation experiment, one that required the men to protect their eyes from harmful rays. Adding to the intrigue was a report that emerged 2 months before their deaths. According to O Cruzeiro, a weekly tabloid magazine in Rio de Janeiro, the two men, along with a friend, had built some kind of device in Cruz's garden, which subsequently exploded. Further complicating the narrative was the discovery of a book in Miguel's home workshop, where police found the tools and scrap used to cut the lead masks. The book contained passages related to intense luminosity connected to spiritual experiences, with several of these passages highlighted. The unsolved mystery. Despite the myriad theories, none could definitively explain the mystery of the lead masks. The case remains a tangle of strange occurrences and unanswered questions. Whether the men were victims of a botched experiment, participants in a failed ritual, or something far stranger, their story continues to captivate, inviting speculation, and fueling the imagination of those who seek to unravel its secrets. Nearly 60 years after Cruz and Viana met their mysterious end, the lead masks case remains baffling. For those who believe in the paranormal, it stands as one of the most compelling examples of possible extraterrestrial contact. For others, it's a cautionary tale of the dangers of dabbling in the unknown, whether that be scientific experimentation, spiritual rituals, or something far stranger. Today, Morro do Vintum is no longer the isolated hill it once was, but the story of what happened there continues to haunt the minds of those who seek to understand the unexplained. The lead masks case remains unsolved, a mystery not only of death but of the human need to seek meaning, even when it may forever elude us.